Hello everybody, it is I, Courtney. I am back from the grave. This is just going to be an update video on what's been going on with my life. It might be a little long, so if you guys have stuff to do, you can tab out and go do something else while listening. I'm just going to be running through the comments and talking to you guys. So, if you guys don't follow my Twitter, or you don't follow my Snapchat, you probably have no idea what's going on in my life at the moment. I'm gonna try not to cry throughout this entire thing, because it's very emotional for me to even talk about. I haven't told the community this yet, like I said, on YouTube, without the exception of Twitter and Snapchat, and my Facebook, but my personal Facebook. So, as most of you guys know, I work at a dog daycare. It was my dream job for quite some time. And I was super excited to get the job. It was my first official job that I've ever had. I did work at Best Buy before, but that was only for a couple months until I figured out it really wasn't for me. So I applied at this said dog daycare, you know, expecting, I didn't expect it to be easy. You know, I expected it to be pretty hard, especially with all of my social anxiety and, I don't want to say autism issues, because I don't think autism is an issue, but just, you know, my issues, my social anxiety issues. And so I thought, you know, maybe joining a company that my dog has been going to since he was a puppy and has been continuously going to would be a good stepping stone for me. And I made a whole bunch of videos, you know, explaining like they haven't gone back to me in 3 months, all that stuff. And when I finally heard back from them and they said that I got the job, I was super ecstatic, super happy, was ready to start, and you know, it was great. It was a great moment. I was very excited, and you know, I was excited to start working with the dogs and meeting my coworkers and all that, and it was going good throughout the, you know, maybe first 6 months of me working there. I got to know all the dogs' names, I got to know all the procedures, I got to know all the schedules. I was part-time at first, so I was literally only working for like 3 to 4 hours a day, every day, until I asked for full-time, which is 8 hours a day. So I basically worked from 8:30 to 5:30, Monday through Friday. Which is a good schedule. I did not mind the schedule. The schedule was perfectly fine for me. You know, it was a normal week load, 40 hours a week. But after about, I'd say, my year of being there, I hit my 1-year anniversary with being in the company. And what they normally do for people that do hit their 1 year, they normally have like this, not a big celebration, but you get like a card saying like, oh, thank you for your 1 year of being with us and working with us and being a part of the family, and just kind of stuff like that. Like, you just get a little card and everything. I did not get a card, and I was in the meeting because we would have monthly meetings. Sometimes we'd have monthly meetings, but at the meeting, you know, they go over, you know, well, whose anniversary is it this month, and they never mentioned me. They never said, you know, oh, Courtney hit her 1 year at River Dog, you know, let's all applaud her for her hard work or whatever. No, there was none of that. I actually had to speak up and be like, it's my 1 year, like, a couple weeks ago, and they're like, what? 1 year already? So it's like they didn't even really know. Which, I understand, maybe they were busy or something, but it kind of made me feel like they didn't really care too much about their employees. I don't really know. And, you know, I'm not bashing on the company or anything, and I'm not going to use their name either for legal reasons, but, anyways, that wasn't really the main issue though. The main issue was really, they did not treat their employees properly. I don't want to start crying. I'm like on the verge of crying. It honestly got to that point where I would dread coming into work every day because of what my bosses or my upper management would say to me on a daily basis. Not to mention, we only got paid minimum wage and had no benefits, so I wasn't getting any health insurance, no dental insurance, no anything. It was basically like, you know, a first job, pretty much, and when I hit 26, I lost my I lost my parents' benefits, so basically I was no longer on my parents' health insurance or anything, so it was kind of like one of those things where it just hits you in the bud, and you're like, well, crap, you're out on your own now. So yeah, it was a very toxic environment. I don't want to get too far into the details because I just don't think it's really necessary to go that deep, but basically, in my opinion, my upper management and bosses were very unprofessional, very disorganized, and I don't want to say it, but they were kind of leaning towards the bullying side, which, you know, I've dealt with bullies before. Bullies are nothing to me, but, you know, when it's your employer and your boss and he's constantly reaming at you, or demeaning you, and I don't really want to say it, but swearing at you for things that either you have no control over or you did nothing wrong. It just was not somewhere I felt safe being. And it really sucks because I loved all the dogs, like, a lot. I loved all my coworkers a lot. My coworkers were great. I loved every single one of them. And the dogs, you know, you're honestly with the dogs more than their owners are with the dogs, especially the dogs that came pretty much every day. Like, you're with those dogs, like, 24/7 pretty much. And that's the only thing that hurt when I put in my resignation letter, because I knew that I was not going to see these dogs again. And, sorry, I'm crying now. It was really hard, but, you know, I was constantly getting sweared at, and I don't know if my other coworkers were too. I just know that I was, and it really pissed me off because I've been there for a year. You know, I know what I'm doing. I'm not a newbie at the job anymore. I've been there long enough to know that what needs to be done needs to be done. I worked overtime for them for so long. Anytime they needed help with something, you know, I would help them. My boss would want to constantly leave early, and he would ask me and say, "Can you stay overtime for me tonight?" And I'd be like, "Sure," and he would always tell me that he owes me one, which he never did. So it hurts when you put so much effort, you know, into a company and you don't really get recognized for any of that. So anyways, it wasn't good, and it sucks because I keep having this gut feeling saying, you know, why the hell did you leave? You know, you probably could have dealt with that just so you can still have a job and so you could still be making money. And, you know, I was looking at moving out. I was so close to moving out. Like, me and my family were looking at condos and apartments and stuff for me because I thought this was something I was gonna be at for, you know, quite a while. And, it just sucks, ultimately. And the way I quit too was definitely not the norm. My boss actually was not in that day, so I guess it made it a little bit easier, but it really didn't, because I really would have liked to just talk to him in person, which is something I normally would never do, because I don't like confrontation. I don't like going up to a person, especially if I'm telling them I'm gonna quit. And normally you would give your 2 weeks notice, you know, let them know like I'm leaving in 2 weeks, so they can find someone else. But the constant berating, the constant swearing, the disorganization, I couldn't, it was way too much. Like, my mental state was shot. It was bad. I would have panic attacks when I was with the dogs, and the dogs would notice, you know, they'd come up and try to consult me. I'm sorry, this is so embarrassing. This is why I'm not doing this on camera, because then you can see me crying, and I don't want that. But, you know, so I still have that gut feeling of just regretting everything, and kind of wishing I still worked. But anyway, so I wrote a letter and put it on his desk, basically saying, you know, thanks for your opportunity, but I just can't work here anymore. And my coworker, I actually told her I was gonna quit that day. And, I asked her, I said, can you let him know that there's a letter on his desk stating that? And she goes, sure, I can. And then that day, when I didn't show up at work, I was, like, waiting for, like, a phone call or something, just, you know, and I have his phone number, too. He could have texted me or called me or anything. He didn't do that. He didn't. I mean, I don't, you know, expect him really to call me or text me or anything, but I thought we had a good working relationship. But anyways, there was a whole bunch of crap with him and this other coworker, and they were dating, and it was entirely uncomfortable, and it was just so toxic. There was so much gossip, there was so much drama, and I mean, it's a job, you know, there's gonna be stuff like that, and it sucks, and you just have to deal with it, and I dealt with it for a year before I literally could not take it anymore. But then again, I have in my gut feeling thinking I could have handled it. But honestly, the worst part about this is only one of my coworkers knew. I just had one just recently, about a couple minutes ago, message me and saying that she missed me. And I miss the dog so damn much. Like, you guys don't even know. So anyways, that's what's been kind of going on. I'm no longer employed. And I don't want to make this seem like, you know, a feel bad for me type of thing. Please don't. Don't feel bad for me. You know, this was my decision. And it was something that was extremely hard for me to do. I just wanted to let you guys know what was kind of happening. And I guess for now, I'm probably gonna come back to YouTube and maybe do some more videos for you guys until I actually find another job, because I don't know what I'm doing next. You know, I was hoping that maybe I would be able to put in my 2 weeks, and in that 2 weeks time, I can kind of figure out what I want to do and have another job lined up, but I don't have another job lined up. I'm kind of stuck now. So I'm just kind of exploring other options. I'm probably going to take maybe about a month off of working and try and figure out if there's something I can do that's, you know, hopefully has benefits, because I really want benefits, and maybe pays a little bit more, because $11 an hour isn't going to cut it where I live, and I kind of wish I would have taken that job or applied for that job when I was in high school, because it's a good job if you're still in high school, like, you know, but for someone that needs to live by themselves and doesn't have a partner that makes a good amount of money either, it's almost impossible to support yourself on that wage. So anyways, that's what happened. So again, at the moment I am unemployed, and I'm looking for my next journey in life, and hopefully it will be a good one. Good news is now I have experience with working, and I have a lot of coworkers that could definitely be recommendations for me in my next job adventure. So anyway guys, I hope you are having a great day wherever you are. I know a lot of you guys are going back to school, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your school year, or start of your school year, I guess, not rest. And in the meantime, I guess I'll just be here, maybe making some more Wiz videos for you. I know me and Skelly have a couple ideas we wanna bring back. I still have to talk to him about that, and I was also thinking of starting my own blog, so I'll keep you guys all in the loop on what's going on with my life. And again, I'm sorry for the crying. It's just really hard, but I'll get through this. I'm strong, I can do this, and I hope to see you guys in the next future video. Bye guys.